Now at 5, our community grieves for a fallen officer as the Joplin Police Department gives the latest on the case, and businesses reach out to show their support in this time of tragedy.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
An unwarranted attack on our officers and is indicative of the rise in violence against law enforcement officers we're witnessing nationwide, and it has to stop.
Joplin Police Chief Sloan Rowland says he's asking for prayers and an end to the violence at a news conference today following yesterday's shootout that took the life of one officer and sent 2 others to the hospital. This is KOAM News at 5. Police today released the name of the fallen officer, Corporal Benjamin Cooper, who leaves behind a wife and 2 daughters. He was a veteran officer of the Joplin Police Department. Cooper started his law enforcement career in 2003, then returned to Joplin in 2013 and was promoted to corporal in 2016. Over the years, Cooper served as a patrolman, investigator, firearms instructor, SWAT officer, field training officer, and worked a police canine at a previous police agency. In February of 2020, Cooper was featured in a Spotlight article produced by the department. At that time, he said, quote, "I enjoy serving the community and am proud to be a Joplin police officer." Corporal Benjamin Cooper was 46 years old. The shooting started just before 1:30 p.m. yesterday near the Buckle at 4th and Range Line. Officers responded to a reported disturbance. When they arrived, they encountered the suspect and exchanged gunfire. 2 officers were injured here, then the suspect fled. Near 9th and Connecticut, gunfire broke out again between officers and the suspect. This was when a 3rd officer and the suspect were hit. EMS took all officers and the suspect to local hospitals. Corporal Cooper was one of those officers. The suspect has also died. Authorities have not yet released the names of the 2 officers who remain in the hospital. As of this morning, one was in critical condition. The other was listed as serious. A police car sits outside the Joplin Police Department tonight. Some community members have been dropping off flowers there since last night. We're going to hear from some of the people leaving flowers tonight at 6. The community of Joplin is showing their support for the police department during this unthinkable time. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky joins us in the studio now with more.
Dow, over the past 24 hours, social media has been full of thoughts and prayers for the Joplin Police Department and those involved in yesterday's shooting. People who wish they could do more, while many Joplin businesses are. All Seasons Signs and Printing is giving the community a chance to show their support in more ways than one. Anyone can pick up a free yard sign or sticker to show support, or buy a t-shirt where the proceeds go directly to the department.
And it's been amazing. We did a Facebook and an Instagram post earlier this morning, and then there was one point I had 30 people lined up, and they were waiting for signs to come off the press because it's just been amazing. They've been here since 8 o'clock this morning, people lined up trying to get these.
Other area businesses are also supporting the Joplin Police Department in various ways. We'll hear more from them at 6. Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Bronte, thanks. Police have not released much information about the suspect killed by police. They do say he was 40-year-old Anthony Felix of Joplin. Missouri court records show he was charged in 2021 with driving violations and a charge of drug paraphernalia. He pled guilty on that case, paid a fine. At that time, he was listed as homeless. Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Well, it's turned out to be a pretty nice day actually for us today. We've had partly sunny skies across the region. Temperatures into the 50s, which is pretty good, but clouds will continue to increase as we go through the overnight hours. Look at the snow increasing across Nebraska, northern parts of Kansas as this next storm system is going to head toward us. Right now we're sitting mainly into the mid 40s. It is going to be a chilly night tonight as we drop back through the 40s, 30s, near freezing later on tonight. Snow chances in the forecast. We'll look at that here in just a bit.
Catch you then. The House is expected to vote today on a $1.5 trillion spending bill that would include billions of dollars for aid for Ukraine. The 3,000-page bill also contains $15 billion in COVID relief. Government funding runs out Friday if the omnibus bill doesn't pass. It would trigger a government shutdown. A ceasefire around some Ukrainian cities under siege is allowing civilians to escape for safety. Experts say Russia agreed to allow civilians to escape in order to create a refugee crisis in Europe. This comes as Vice President Harris has kicked off a 3-day trip to Europe to see the humanitarian relief in action. She'll also discuss a Polish plan to supply Ukraine with fighter jets. Scientists have found the sunken wreck of polar explorer Ernest Shackleton's ship Endurance more than a century after it was lost to the Antarctic ice. Shackleton and his 27-man crew managed to escape the ice-trapped ship in 1915, but it was a 10-month ordeal, camping and hiking across sea ice. The ship lies about 10,000 feet underwater and is in remarkably good condition, with the name Endurance still visible across its stern. Just ahead, some COVID patients are dealing with a lost sense of smell and taste long after overcoming the infection. What researchers hope to do about that, just ahead in Health Watch.
Thank you.
Topping today's Health Watch, losing your sense of smell and taste are common symptoms of COVID-19. Some patients can still experience the problem months after the infection. Well, now researchers in Philadelphia are testing a new way to restore those senses. Reporter Stephanie Stahl has one woman's story.
Nancy D'Amato is finally able to enjoy eating again. She lost her ability to taste and smell after a bout with COVID-19 last February.
It was really, really jarring. I mean, I lost it instantaneously.
It's often one of the first symptoms of COVID that's usually temporary. But for some patients like Nancy, the inability to taste and smell again lasts and becomes a COVID long-haul symptom.
It was life-changing that I couldn't enjoy any food. I didn't want to eat. It was so depressing.
With limited treatment options, Nancy found an intriguing research project at Jefferson Health.
I really feel that it's helping me.
The Jefferson research is testing platelet-rich plasma, PRP, from the patient's own blood to restore smell. It's been used to heal injuries and regrow hair. Now, instead of injections, Dr. Rosen and his team are using a biodegradable sponge infused with PRP.
We put it up very high in the nose where all the smell fibers are located. It gets absorbed through the lining of the nose. It basically helps those cells that have been damaged by the COVID virus to start regenerating.
He says of the 9 COVID patients who've received PRP, 8 have responded.
I'm able to start to enjoy some flavors, food again.
After 5 treatments once a month, Nancy says her sense of smell and taste are slowly coming back. She's able to enjoy her perfume again and is back to wine tastings. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Rosen says PRP therapy has helped other patients who've had trouble with taste and smell. He hopes to get a grant to expand the research on COVID-19 patients. Wearing a mask indoors and on transportation for at least 2 weeks after a community achieves 90% vaccination, 70 to 90%, that would not only prevent hospitalizations and deaths, but would save money for businesses and healthcare systems. That's according to a new modeling study in the Lancet Public Health. Currently, less than 70% of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Transgender people might not be getting the care they need. Researchers in New Zealand say only half of transgender people report supportive care from doctors. Patients with more supportive care experience less psychological distress. And a new study finds a link between shift work and poor working memory and slower mental processing speed. Research in occupational and environmental medicine also found working outside the normal day-night cycle is also associated with lower levels of alertness and focus, which can increase the risk of injuries at work. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call is going to tell us whether it's safe to give raw eggs to our dogs and cats.
Plus, we have snow chances increasing. We're going to look at that coming up.
Watching.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a better day for us today. We have partly sunny skies, temperatures pretty good as we went right around 50 for an afternoon high. You can see a lot of clouds out there right now. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, and of course Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. But these clouds will continue to increase as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. All right, as we look down the road over the next couple days, we'll start to pick up a few showers tomorrow. Now, our northern counties, you're going to get snow. Actually, late tonight into tomorrow. Most of us freezing drizzle over to light snow tomorrow night, and the light snow through the morning hours on Friday, and then tapering in the afternoon. Of course, you can always get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog. That is KOAMnewsnow.com. All right, 45 in Nevada, 50 in Miami, 50 in Anderson, 49 in Parsons. Yates Center is sitting at 45 degrees. We kind of have these light northeasterly winds, and we're going to stay out of the northeast through most of the night. Then they'll switch briefly to the south tomorrow, and then right back to the north as we have a sharp cold front which is going to roll in. It looks pretty good. 7th and range line currently sitting at 46. North winds at 10. Humidity is at 58%. Through the evening hours, slide back through the 40s, 30s, eventually near freezing for most of us, 20s in our northern counties. So if you live in our northern counties, you will drop back into the mid-20s for overnight lows. But you can see the clouds kind of in and out of the region, but these will continue to thicken up as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Already you can see the snow picking up across parts of Nebraska, northwestern Kansas. Most of this will stay to our north for tonight and a good chunk of tomorrow, and then it will start to slide south as our main wave way out across parts of Utah actually rotates in and enhances our chances for snow across the region. All right, let's go through time. We'll break this down. Let's go all the way to tomorrow morning. You can see some snow showers and then light snow in our northern counties. So if you live in Nevada, Fort Scott, Iola, Yates Center, Chanute, you're going to wake up to some snow, and you may even have some slick roads by tomorrow morning. As we go through the morning hours, most of the snow stays in our northern counties. It could get as far as Pittsburgh or as far south as Lamar. I think south of that, you can see south winds south of Interstate 44. We are going to be talking about warming temperatures and temperatures near 50, and you can see some spotty showers. So here's late or early afternoon. Let's go into the afternoon hours. That cold front is all the way down through northwestern Arkansas, so temperatures are dropping. Still light snow, mainly in our northern counties. So again, Nevada, Fort Scott, Iola, Chanute, Yates Center, you could pick up 1, 2, 3 inches of snow tomorrow. Everybody else is just going to have rain. As we go through the evening hours, freezing drizzle starts to develop. Here's 9:30, and you can see the band of snow increasing across the region as we go through the overnight hours for us tomorrow night, mainly along and north of I-44. It will start shifting farther south by Friday morning. So here's 5 a.m., light to moderate snow. We're sitting into the 20s, so it will stick. We have bands of snow through the morning hours on Friday, and then as we head into Friday afternoon, it will start to taper off. Look at the cold air that drives in Friday night. We're going to go all the way down into the single digits. All right, snowfall amounts. In general, most of us 2 to 4, isolated 5. Northern counties, 4 to 7 inches of snow. So this is going to cause some issues on Friday. 50 tomorrow. Again, a wide range of weather for most of us. 29 on Friday, 31 on Saturday, right back into the 50s by the second half of the weekend.
Cause some issues on Friday.
Yeah, the roads are going to be slick.
Drivers beware.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Doug. This is Weather Preparedness Week. Appropriately enough, it's a perfect time to make sure you're ready for any possible severe weather this year, maybe this spring when trees come down and such. Officials say you should have a plan ready in the event of an emergency, know where you and your family would go and what to bring. Also, have an emergency kit and supplies ready in your safe room. Stuff like a first aid kit, non-perishable food, plenty of water. Another tip, make sure you stay aware of what storm systems are doing, and you can do that through the KOAM Skywatch weather app. View an updated radar and get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone. That app is available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store again. The Play Store, again, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Coming up, the latest on the job market across our nation. First, though, we take time to recognize a local veteran, Thiral Kanar. The Chanute, Kansas native served in the U.S. Navy, and we are proud to salute Firal Kanar, tonight's four-state hero. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the job market remains strong, and a new report shows Americans continue to resign at a high rate. Naomi Ruckham reports.
I have a lot of jobs that I could go work at right now.
Gabby Moore says she recently quit her job in the food services industry because of a pay cut and being mistreated.
They never even told me my wage was changing. They didn't warn me. They didn't say anything. I found out through a Facebook post.
The Department of Labor says 4.3 million people quit their jobs in January, just under November's record of 4.5 million. And employers are struggling to fill positions. Job openings remain at near record levels. This North Carolina rec center needs workers and is getting a head start on summer. They're already trying to hire camp counselors.
This year, we're predicting it to be very tough, with the way that things are now.
When companies see these numbers, what can they do to make sure people don't quit or that they can fill the positions they have?
Essentially, the easiest path is to pay more money.
But Bankrate.com's senior economic analyst Mark Hamrick says it's not just money job seekers want.
They really also want to have flexibility. And one of the top priorities is the opportunity to work remote or work from home.
Now they're like, you can come in tomorrow.
Moore now has part-time work at a hotel and the flexibility to add more hours if she wants.
I'm feeling great. There's just so many easy ways to make money now that you don't have to go and be treated horribly.
The tight job market is also leading to higher paychecks. Wages are up about 5% in the past year. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
Apple debuted a new budget iPhone SE at its first event of 2022. The CEO, Tim Cook, says it has a better battery life than its predecessor and comes with an improved chip for faster performance. The phone keeps its home button but still does not have Face ID. Our pet vet on call next.
Salon services provided. Oreo blast? No.
Up next on the CBS Evening News, a Russian airstrike hits a maternity hospital in Ukraine. Tonight, President Zelensky says children are trapped in the rubble. Then on KOAM News at 6, the latest on the conditions of the two Joplin officers who remain in the hospital tonight following yesterday's shootings. Plus how some Joplin citizens are reaching out to honor Corporal Benjamin Cooper, the Joplin officer who lost his life in the line of duty. And what some area businesses are doing to show their support for the families of the officers and for the entire community. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Some kitchen scraps are fine for the pets, some are not. Today's question for our pet vet on call: is it okay for me to give raw eggs to my dog and cat?
Actually, yes. Raw eggs are very rich in nutrients and protein, but there is a risk of infection like salmonella. Here's what happens. As the hen lays eggs, she coats the egg with a protein-like mucus that protects the eggs from drying out and bacteria from getting in. Store-bought eggs are power washed and scrubbed to make them clean and white, and they remove that layer. So there's always that risk. You should always keep your store-bought eggs in the refrigerator and check the date for expiration and freshness. And then sure, give them a fresh egg every once in a while.
We invite questions from anyone. If you have one, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. Now let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we have Sally. The society says she's an adult St. Bernard mix. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we've chosen an adult male domestic short-haired cat with markings that, if you ask me, look kind of like a Batman mask. Kind of, sort of. The name is Lars. If you're looking for a pet, why not at least check out your local Humane Society? Winter isn't finished with us yet. Snow coming this week.
Yeah, snow picking up tonight in our northern counties, and periods of snow in our northern counties tomorrow. Everybody else, some light little showers, and then snow increases for everyone tomorrow night into Friday.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. We'll be right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.